this talk I'm going to have with Professor Seng Beng Ho. You're connected to the Performance Institute, a High Performance Institute.
Yes.
In Singapore. And we're going to talk about the way we can analyze social media. Like social media with analyzation, we were doing that already, but then they didn't get the prediction right that Trump would be president. And you're telling me just a little bit about how your technique and other techniques did get it wrong, and where the difference is between that.
No, in fact, I think what they are saying is that the traditional polling process didn't get it right, but there were some social media analytic companies that actually got it correct. And the venture capitalists have been knocking at their door. And for our case, we are also working on the same thing, except that we have something called fine-grained social media analytics. It will provide even better information for businesses and governments.
So where would this the twitch be between like the platforms that get it wrong, the platforms that get it right? Is it a different way of interpreting all that data that's available from like the social media channels, or is it actually a total different way of interpreting the data?
Yes, I think it's different mechanisms, and some are of course better than others. Yeah, but the value that we are bringing to the market is what we call fine grain. So typically, sentiments are only classified into positive or negative. But you can actually also go into the emotion. Say positive, it could be ecstasy, joy, or just happiness. And negative could be anxiety, dissatisfaction, or anger. So we go to that level. And so that gives you a lot better kind of resolution.
And these nuances in emotions in the data analysis would be quite new, right? Like as you were saying, up to now we would mainly dividing it into two groups, either pro or contra a certain feeling.
Right, precisely, yeah. And not only that, we can also have something what we call object specificity. For example, in one sentence, you could express say anxiety toward a product, but happiness toward another product. So the happiness or unhappiness is also toward a certain product, but not just overall, very low resolution kind of feeling.
So here we're actually enhancing the value of all that data because we understand more about what it's actually saying.
Yes. So if you relate this to the presidency, right, you can say that people like this aspect of Trump's idea, but maybe not that aspect. So it wouldn't just be, I like Trump or I don't like Trump. So this can provide a lot of very, very valuable information.
This was only one of the topics you were addressing. You were also addressing deep learning, and you were saying, well, deep learning in the traditional way, it's very slow, and there are ways to do it in a different kind of way. And then we're talking future technologies because we can make it a lot faster.
Perfectly. In fact, this is why I'm here, because I want to mention this to everybody. Basically, yeah, deep learning has got some successes, but it is slow. It is useful for certain aspect of the requirement in intelligent information processing. But we are doing something called causal learning, which is a lot faster to learn about actions and so on. And so that can contribute to artificial intelligence problem solving. So we call it deep thinking and quick learning instead of deep learning. So you need a deeper processing in terms of thinking, but the learning can be very fast.
That sounds so interesting. How were the reactions to that presentation, to that talk? Because obviously at FTC we're very much about connecting to all these different people. We have so many different research fields and researchers, PhD students. So they must have some critical questions for you.
Yes, in fact, I mentioned to them that I brought some free copies of my books to give away, that talks about this technology, and immediately 7 or 8 people rushed to me and said, give me one, and I only have 4, so I told them, well, I'll send you some later. Yeah. So that shows that they're very excited about this, and they asked me, whether I've, spoken with the deep learning people about this, and I will be doing that, so to contrast our technology. Yeah.
So for you, what would be the outcome of this conference? Did you have some nice inspiration yourself? Did you saw a talk that maybe for you was an inspiration? Which subject really had an angle for you?
Okay, so I did see a talk which they were analyzing these sentiments of some minority languages in China. And it's a Tibetan, they call it Tibetan semantic analysis. And that is somewhere, somewhat along the line of what we are doing, so that affirms that what we are doing is correct.
So that was interesting for you.
That was very interesting for me, right.
Thank you so much.